6:35, and we are helping you get back into the swing of things and back to school all week long. This next story is something we've been tracking for years. We're talking about the crackdown on concussions and what's being done locally to prevent them in student athletes.
Now we're learning more about a new change in state law that requires even school nurses to be trained in concussion management. Bumps, bruises, and scratches are the most common causes for complaint from the students visiting Donna Lennon's office. But now she'll be watching more closely for a bump of another kind, a concussion.
We do see it all here in the schools. There's everything from the stomach aches, headaches, head injuries, concussions.
In June, Rhode Island lawmakers approved legislation requiring school nurses to take an annual online course on recognizing concussions and traumatic brain injuries. School nurses now join the list of coaches, trainers, and parents of student athletes already required to take concussion training. Health officials say the expanded training is meant to help students who may suffer head trauma on the playground or playing field, but who may not show any symptoms of a concussion until later.
The point was just to say, let's make sure we provide a little bit of training so the person who really might be the one who encounters the student would recognize that.
In 2010, the General Assembly passed the School and Youth Programs Concussion Act, requiring impact or baseline concussion testing for student athletes. Since then, the number of concussions reported in the Ocean State have skyrocketed. According to the Rhode Island Department of Health, only 8 concussions were reported to the department's traumatic brain injury program in 2009. Last year, over 300 concussions were reported. So, what symptoms are cause for concern?
Dizziness, nausea, vomiting, loss of balance, any types of memory issues, if they can't remember what happened out there. School nurses have a lot more these days than just the Band-Aids and the ice packs.
Now, the legislation that was passed late in the General Assembly session also strongly recommends that all school teachers take this free concussion training offered by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Coming up tomorrow at 6 on Eyewitness News this morning, taking a closer look at immunization changes for Rhode Island students. We'll tell you what vaccines will soon be required.